I've been feeling the need to make a video purely to test the movie features of the new iPhone and iMovie for iOS 4. So inevitably the subject is going to be the iPhone itself, though the advantage of making a video of this is that I can be walking the cliff paths here while I'm making the post, though I find myself slightly alarmed that I may trip up and either the phone or myself may fall off the cliff. Which of these would upset me the more, I'm not quite sure I've decided yet. Fortunately, one of the features of the iPhone is a little button which switches from a front-facing camera, which is the camera looking at me while I'm looking at the screen, and a rear-facing camera. If I can press the button I can show you, which allows you to see, and me to see, what's ahead of me, which hopefully will stop me falling off the cliff. I hope I've got those the right way around. Front facing, I'm referring to the one that looks at me when I'm looking at the screen, and rear facing on the back of the camera. Oh. The back camera is clearly in a different aspect ratio. It's widescreen, and I know it's doing HD, whereas the front-facing camera, I believe, is a lower quality, which is probably a good thing because that's the one facing me. What I need now is a spot where I can sit and enjoy the view and maybe do a bit of video editing. Looks like there's a good enough view around here, and that could be quite a shelter spot down there. So I'll go and have a sit and play. First impressions of iMovie are that it's incredibly easy to bring clips in, to add transitions and titles, and to make adjustments such as the length of the transition. There aren't a great deal of choices available, but it's very, very quick. Quicker even, I think, than possibly using iMovie for very, very simple tasks on the computer. One thing I did have to look up was how you trim and split clips, and in order to do this you have to tap the clips and swipe your finger. It's not very difficult, but it's not obvious, and I don't think I would have guessed that without having had an internet connection to check it with. One final point about iMovie: while from within the program you can access films that have been taken on the camera app, you don't seem to be able to save films from iMovie back onto the camera roll, which raises the question, how do you get those films into other projects or exported onto the computer? Perhaps you can't. So my advice would be to use the camera app to shoot all the footage and only use iMovie for the editing. So that's the camera stuff. But what about the rest of the phone? Well, first of all, it feels great. It's thin, the glass feels lovely, it's like some sort of delicate but inedible biscuit. And the screen is clear in a way that I've decided has to go way beyond the novelty of just having a clean screen. The specification for this phone exceeds the specification of the first PC I bought 12 years ago by some margin. When the rumours first surfaced that Apple were going to make a phone, I decided that the perfect phone for me would sync my contacts and calendars nicely with my Mac, let me edit them, be very usable, and it would have a front-facing camera so I could video chat with my iChat buddies. The first phone didn't have this, so I decided I would wait. The second phone didn't have it either, and I decided I had to have it anyway. But this phone does. This phone has it all. As far as my wishes are concerned, it answers every single one. Phone-wise, I can now die happy. This is the phone that you can bury me with, although I prefer that you waited until I'm dead. In fact, I've wanted this phone for even longer than that. When I was 8, I built a prototype out of cardboard for a device that filmed movies and also played back videos and let me watch television. And because it was 25 years ago, and because it was only about that size, it was very cutting edge. This phone does all of that, plus it lets me edit the videos on the phone, plus it lets me publish them to the internet, and it fits in my pocket. I like this phone.